YouTube family. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today's video is going to be probably my most requested video I've ever had. And that is a hair tutorial. And basically, this is kind of a throwback to Farrah Fawcett, Heather Locklear, 70s, you know, the flip back hair, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on that, and I just appreciate it so much. Thank you guys. But we're gonna just kind of walk through what I do for that, and then we're gonna go from there, and yeah, so that's gonna be what today's tutorial is. Before we get started, I want to address the purple elephant in the room, which is my purple eyeshadow. I did go a little bit ham today on the purple. Yeah, I was digging it and feeling the purple, so that's what's going on today. Oh, before we do, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome in. Please subscribe and hit that little notification bell next to the subscribe button. I've been hearing a lot lately that if you don't hit that bell, that you won't be notified of all my videos, that you get notified. And actually it says that. Once you subscribe, it says right there, if you don't hit the bell, that you will be notified of some of my videos, but you won't be notified of them all. So if you want to be notified of them all, hit the bell. Enough said. Okay, so basically I am working on, this is, let's see, I washed my hair not yesterday, but the day before. So I'm working on 2-day hair here. So it is getting, you know, a little bit grungy and dirty. I don't curl my hair every day, but I have curled it this week. So it does have a little bit of bend in it still, but not much. What I'm going to start with is the dry shampoo that I use, and this is just Not Your Mother's Clean Freak Refreshing Dry Shampoo. And I just use this because it's inexpensive and it works good. So I've got a lot of kind of dirty looking hair in through here. So I'm just going to lift that, spray it on the roots, and this helps too to give you a bit of texture in your hair. And then basically I just go ahead and work it through with my fingers to try and get that extra, you know, greasy look that's underneath there out, for lack of a better word. And then I'll just spray some in the back too. Okay, and so I just worked that through. And if you'll hold on just a minute, I'm not liking the angle of this camera at all, so I'm gonna pull it down. So when I'm working on second day hair, it gets to be a little bit of a challenge because every single night I pull all my hair up and I put it in a bun on top of my head because I wear a lot of creams on my face and I find that it gets my hair too oily if I don't. So I wake up and I have kind of this little like cowlick situation right here where your hair just doesn't want to do what you want it to. So I kind of over part that just a little bit, which I normally do anyway. And then what I do to give this side a little bit more fullness, because as you can see I hardly have any hair there that's covering. So what I do is I kind of go at a diagonal right here and kind of bring a little bit more of that hair from the other side over. So it's kind of like a zigzag part type thing. Okay, but if this was freshly washed hair, what I would use is my KENRA Thermal Styling Spray. This is number 19 Firm Hold Heat Activated Spray. Now I do already have a little bit of this in, so I'm not going to use as much as I normally do, but I do want to demonstrate what I do for it normally. So basically I normally just lift it and spray it out clear to the ends and all the way around the back, and same thing on this side is I just lift and make sure all of my hair is coated with that. This heating spray though, curling spray I should say, actually works really good for letting your curling iron go. So if you put this, if you spray it, put your curling iron in it immediately, it doesn't actually stick to the curling iron. So this is a really good one for that. I really do like KENRA's products. And then what I'm going to do after that dries just a little bit through my hair, I'm just going to brush it one more time and make sure that it's pretty well through the hair. Okay, now this is where it gets different for me than all of the other people that I've ever seen do a hair tutorial. I actually start in the front. I find that if I clip my hair up and start in the bottom, that I lose a bit of length. And my hair's not that long to begin with anyway. It's longer, but it's not that long. So I start right here at the front, right on the beginning, or right where you see everything in the beginning, and I just take sections, and I don't do very small sections. I do quite large sections actually for my hair because my hair is really pretty fine fine and thin, so I don't need to take little sections. And my curling iron is a Hot Tools curling iron, and of course it's purple. What else? I think this barrel is the 1 1/4 inch. I find that the 1 1/2 inches is a little bit too big to get me any curl that will stay all day, but the 1 inch is too small and gets me too much curl. So just start right here, like I said, and I actually kind of pull that forward a little bit before I start to curl. And then what I do is I slip it in between the barrel and I pull that down just a little bit for like 1 second. Then I pull it out to the end and I roll it in like a spiral motion. If you're on this side, you're gonna roll everything backwards. Same thing on this side, you're gonna roll everything backwards. I don't switch up the way that I roll. And the other thing is because my hair is so fine and thin that I don't leave my hair in the curling iron as long as I've seen some people do. I've seen some people leave their hair in their curling iron a really long time, and I can't do that. So I just go from side to side so that I can pretty well distinguish, you know, how much I want to take. I got a hair right here in my eyeball. I can pretty well distinguish how much I want to take and how much I want in each section. Now this is pretty much all of my bangs. So I'm going to curl this almost like sideways. Whoops, see that got loose in there. Just grab it again. And I'm going to just completely curl this sideways. And then when I let it loose, I kind of give it a little bit with my fingers to show it direction. And that just seems to help that curl stay in there a little bit longer and the bend stay in there a little bit longer. Okay, so now I'm going to go again on this side since I didn't get any of that top hardly at all. And just going to do the next part. And again, I take the whole thing in and I pull down right there so I get a little bit of lift at the roots right there. And then I go out to the end, the very, very end, and then I just roll it up just like a roller and then hold it. One thing that you don't want to do when you're releasing after you have held it is you don't want to pull on it or brush it at all, because basically you're going to take that curl out. And for me, especially now that it's getting hotter, oh my goodness, it is so difficult to be able to keep a curl in my hair for the whole entire day. My hair is stick straight. So yeah, it becomes a bit of a challenge. Okay, so now so my hair is like, it goes in like sections. So the front bangs and then the side and then the back, or the longer parts that come forward. So I like to pull my hair forward for it to give me more of a full look around my face. So everything that I do is going to be pulled forward. And what I mean by that is when I take a section of hair, like I'm going to go from the top again back here towards the crown more, and I'm going to take that section of hair and I'm going to pull it forward. This just helps me because then the curls are setting forward instead of backwards. And so yeah, I really like that. Can you see how the curling iron is kind of slipping that end in? A lot of people leave their ends out and you get the beachy waves. This is more of not the beachy, but more of the curl with the ends bended in. So hopefully that helps you. So in this part right here, you're gonna need to do 3 curls because this hair, as it gets back here, you're getting into thicker hair. So you're gonna need to do 3 sections going down this specific section of hair. And again, I'm going to take this curl that I just did, being careful with it, and I'm going to push it to the back, and then I'm going to pull this hair that hasn't been curled yet forward and let that end just stick out a little bit, then pull it in, and then put the hair all the way in. Now when you get to these heavier sections, you're going to get less curl, but for me that works really good because then my hair looks a little bit longer on the base down here. And I have to leave this particular curl in a really long time, and I know I do because this one hair right here is so hard to keep a curl in, and yeah, it gives me fits. Okay, I don't have a lot of hair. I'm already here at the bottom, and it looks like I do when I get done, but I really don't. So I'm going to take a little bit of that hair out and push it to the back, simply because that won't curl anyway. So this is the very bottom hair, and I pull it all the way forward around my neck. So this time I have to go in like this, and I'm actually taking that hair almost like under but in a spiral at the same time. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but you kind of have to go under, but leave it, you know, kind of diagonal. It's hard to explain that part of it because it becomes a little bit challenging. Now you can see that I have a few little hairs that are sticking out right here that didn't get into some of the other curls, and all you have to do with that is just curl them separate. It actually adds a lot of definition when you do that. And this particular hair stays in a lot longer too. What I love about actually curling my hair like this is that my hair is a little bit frizzy, but I find that this particular curling iron, this is a ceramic Tourmaline, and it actually helps to smooth out my hair and make my hair look a little bit healthier through the day when I use this. Okay, so then I'm just going to repeat it on this side. I'm going to take the top part just like I did on the other side, pull that forward, and put it into a curl. I've got too much hair there, I can already tell. It's not gonna like that. This one will actually kind of sit a little bit towards the back of my head. There is this clump of hair right here in the very back of my head that I will curl either way, whatever I'm in the mood for. I usually end up curling it with this hair on this side because it's just easier for me to reach. So I don't like count. You know, when I was a kid, I used to count the amount of seconds that you kept your hair in. You can kind of gauge where your hair is, and you can kind of gauge the health of your hair too. Sometimes hair is really damaged and you don't need a lot of time in the curling iron. Sometimes some curling irons are a little bit hotter than other curling irons. So it really kind of just depends on what your specific hair needs are. You don't want to fry your hair. You know, this one's turned up all the way, but it's kind of an older one, so it kind of probably needs replaced. But yeah, I do leave my hair in the actual curling iron for quite a little while. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is my very back hair that I just put in here, the tail of the back there, and I actually curl that up and sideways. If I curl it under, it goes completely straight, so I have a tendency to just try and curl it upwards a little bit so it'll come to one side or the other. And then I still have this clump of hair right here to do. Okay, so this particular one, again, just like the other side, what I do is I take my curling iron and because you can't get all of that hair in unless you go straight down, I just try to spiral it down and backwards at the same time. But again, I'm pulling it quite forward, so I hope you guys can see that. Clear back here, it's got like 4 or 5 inches to where my hair really starts, and what I'm doing is pulling it forward, and I think that's what gives it so much volume, is that, you know, I don't have extensions, I don't have anything like that, or to give it any volume, but I do pull as much hair forward as I can to give it the voluminous look. And then when I take that one out, I just let it roll. And so all of my hair is curled now. Now I'm going to take my hairspray, which is the KENRA Super Hold Finishing Spray number 25. I have been using this for years and years and years, and I do not use anything else ever on my hair. It just does not leave. I'm actually just going to spray these before I do anything with my fingers in them to keep a little bit of a curl. So I don't use any other hairspray. I haven't for years. And yes, everybody says that this nozzle is a bugger, and it is. It's a pain in the butt. You think after 25 years, they've been making this for 25 years, you think that after 25 years they would have figured out the darn nozzle, but they haven't yet. So I just have a tendency to stick my fingernail in there, pick out anything. If it gets really clogged, I go run it under hot water. I never really have any problems with it. So, and if I do, I take it back to wherever I got it from, even if it's half full. I'm like, this thing got clogged before I was done, and they'll give you a replacement on it. They just send it back to KENRA. So okay, so now I had the hairspray in there, and now this is where it's important to me to tell you what I do. I do not, from this point on, ever touch my hair with a brush. I might do a little bit of teasing, but I don't touch it with a brush. So I just start at the front where I curled, and I just push my fingers through there, and I just kind of give it a little bit of a tussled look with my fingers. That's all I do to kind of separate those curls, and just see what I've come up with this particular time. And as you can see, we've got a little bit of a hairy curl going on there, but I don't mind it being different and piecey and it looking different in places. I actually think that looks more voluminous and it looks a little bit prettier on you. So we'll do this side. And again, I do not ever use a brush on any of my hair after it's been curled, because if I do, I lose every bit of curl that I've worked for. So you can see on the top, I don't have hardly any volume whatsoever in there. And basically I'm just, again, I'm just gonna tussle this, whatever you call it, tassel, whatever you, this part of my hair, and just kind of finger through it until it gets to where I want it to. Now I can see right here, can you guys see that there's hardly any curl in there whatsoever? So I'm gonna take this little tiny section of hair and I'm just gonna go through it and give it a little bit of an extra curl right there. And that's gonna separate that hair right there too, which is nice. So I'm gonna let that just cool just a little bit while I mess with a little bit of this a little bit more. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of loosely pull that apart a little bit, and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. So this is just, it's super easy. There's hardly anything to it at all except for just curling all of your hair backwards. So now I'm gonna take my hairspray and I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna do the surface spraying, and I'll tell you what I mean by surface spraying. That's just the curls that are here. And this hairspray is really good because while it's a little bit in your hair, not set up yet, you can still run your fingers through there and get a pretty good look. Okay, so when I was talking about surface, what I meant is if you like a lot of volume back here at the crown of your head, you can go back in there and spray if you want to and get a little bit more. For my hair, it doesn't get a lot of volume because, like I said, I have pretty fine limp hair. So, you know, I kind of just deal with that. There's not much you can do about it when you do. But yeah, that's basically the hair. That's the hair tutorial. That's what the hair looks like. That is the whole thing. I give it a good spray at the end and I'm off for the day. That is it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that it was easy for you to follow, and I hope that it gave you some good ideas for what you can do with your own hair. And yeah, you just go through it and just kind of finger and tussle and, you know, get the look you want to while you're spraying and curling. And yeah, so it's pretty easy. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you did like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and let me know that you did. And if you'd like me to bring you, I'm actually thinking about doing this video, my top 10 hair care products. I would like to do that, I think, for you guys. So let me know if that's something that you want to do. Give it a thumbs up so I know that it is. And yeah, that's everything for today's video. I love you guys very, very much. Thank you for being so supportive and being here with me always. And I will see you in my very next video. Bye, you guys.